Expedition 33 is an overhyped, non-original, mechanic-stealing, below-average, turn-based RPG and will not be considered for Game of the Year. Whoa, buddy, whoa, calm down there. Now look, it's okay if you don't like a particular type of game. Everybody has those types of games they don't like. But just because you don't like them doesn't mean it's the cool thing to do to just hate on something that a lot of other people are simply liking or find to be the best game this year personally. But hey, who am I to talk, right? I mean, everyone's hyped for GTA 6 next year, and I think GTA is just kind of a average open world game.
Excuse me?
Oh crap, did I just say that online?
FBI, open up!
Anyone who's been on the internet, we all know that the majority of us are simply enjoying Expedition 33 because guess what? It's just simply that fun of a game. Whether it's the story, the characters, the gameplay, you name it, it doesn't matter. There is something that a majority of us are liking, and we really hope that this is either going to at least be considered for Game of the Year, or in a best case scenario, we are definitely going to see it winning Game of the Year. And personally looking at the list of games this year, I don't think there's much that can really beat it. But of course, like I said, we're the people on the internet. What about your average gamer? Well, let's go and talk about that because we've got a lot to say about this game. We've been covering this game for about a month right now here on the channel, going through all the different guides when it comes to the bosses, how to look at the parry timings and everything. Because again, everyone has different experiences when it comes to certain bosses. One of my friends was able to take down a boss that I personally had trouble with and vice versa. So if you want to check out the playlist, go ahead and check it out in the top right corner and pin comment. But just for an average discussion, I want to know your thoughts on the game itself. It's been a little over a month since the game came out. What are your favorite characters, story moments, gameplay-wise, side bosses, you name it? Let us know all your thoughts below. But let's get into the discussion because this is a special game. This really is. Hey everyone, thank you for checking out Direct Gaming, the place for gaming discussions and in-depth guides for all things games. If you want the chance to discuss all things gaming live, make sure to hit the sub button and like the video to get notified and join us every weekend on stream at 7 p.m. Who knows, your question could be shown in the next video. Thanks for checking out the channel and we hope you enjoy the video. I think it's safe to say that without any doubt that Expedition 33 is it's an absolute success. Whether it's number of sales, the overwhelmingly positive reviews, players talking about it online and everything, whether or not you think it's actually worth the big hype and everything, you cannot deny that this game has done extremely well for itself, especially from a team of just 33 people. And yes, we are including the dog in this because he absolutely 100% deserves the recognition that little pup deserves. Will we get a sequel? Maybe a new game from the studio, a prequel? All that stuff is being talked about. And of course, I want to talk about it with you guys right now. So, Lemon, I want to know your raw thoughts on this game. You've played it, you have beat it, and it's been a month now. You've had time to gather your thoughts. You've played other games. Have you thought about this game at all? I just want to know.
It good.
It good. That's a wrap. Call it right there, folks. Video over, done.
That's it, done. No, it's a good game. I mean, right now, just based on the games that are out now, and games that we're expecting to come out future, and how good they're expected to be, I think this is easily going to be a nominee for GOTY. Right now, it's probably Game of the Year for RPG also. I mean, if it's in the nominations, but music, like I said, probably a lock in. It was just a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I think my only real criticism of it is more of a nitpick and some personal bias against things like this. I hate QTs. I hate the parry system. It's fine enough in this game. I'm playing an RPG. I'm not playing DMC. Right? I don't want to have to deal with timings and stuff. But that's the thing I hate against. That's the thing I hate in most RPGs like this. I bitch about this in Mario and Luigi and the Mario RPG series in general. Sea of Stars wasn't too bad about it. I'm trying to think of another game with like a parry system or just some sort of timing, and because I don't know, it just feels weird. But the rest of it was great. The storyline was chef's kiss. It was the best. I really enjoyed it. And once you finish the end, it kind of makes you think, Jesus, I'm stupid. How did I not see this one coming?
Yeah,
it literally was in my face this whole time.
I'll get into that second. But anyway, continue on. Keep going.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I really enjoyed it. Certainly probably my favorite game I've played this year. And a Yakuza game came out this year, so I think it's pretty high praise. I love Yakuza.
You are. You're a big Yakuza fan, and so the fact that you came in and you're absolutely loving this game really shows just how good it is. But no, I absolutely 100% agree. Obviously, for those of you who haven't gone through the entire story, make sure you do. But it's funny because I actually started New Game Plus, and I'm playing the entire game now with the Japanese subtitles on because my wife likes to watch me play the games that we cover here on the channel and everything. But some of the story stuff's a little complex in terms of what English is being read, and so I want to show her the kanji and everything, and just make sure she can understand it. But going through some of the things that are happening within the story right now, I'm just like, how did I not see this the first time? It was literally slapping me upside the head right in front of my face. And nothing. I'm just like, wow, this really, really shows you right there. But the story was absolutely amazing, regardless of, what, you take away from it. I know that the developers have come out and said like, no, this is not a story about grief, even though a lot of people definitely take that away from the story that you read. So, but, regardless of how you look at the actual story itself and the messaging or anything like that, it's a great story, great voice acting, love the characters and everything. I don't know about you personally, but when I did the ending, spoiler here technically, I sided with Verso, which is, I think, technically considered the good ending. Again, there's room for debate there and talks and whatever side, yada yada, I get that. But I definitely went with Verso. I went with that good ending. And damn, I watched the Mael ending. If you went with Mael, I went on YouTube and I watched it. And I was like, damn, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's what she does? Horror. Like,
it's some body horror.
It is. I was just like, oh, man, I fell for it. Oh, man. Man.
It's crazy. Because I went with the Mael ending because I just thought, she's the GOAT. She's seriously the most OP character in the whole game from like the beginning of the game to the end. Mm-hmm. So I went with that thinking she was definitely my strongest character, and I've had to go one-on-one for sure.
But you didn't even need her though, because it wasn't even really more of a battle. Like, yeah, you could do a couple moves, but the person across from you was like barely doing any damage to you or anything.
100%. Well, yeah. So I wasn't thinking too hard about it, right? And so, again, you've already made the spoiler alert, but let's just say, I'll be vague enough. Ben Starr's portrayal of Verso in this section is heart-wrenching.
It is heart-wrenching.
That
like
part where it's like, what? I feel like I done goofed. I should not have picked this. I should not have picked this. And then the actual shows the cutscene of it at the very end of how things play out if you go her route.
Yep.
And it's like, this is only getting worse.
Yep.
This is only getting worse. It looks like it's going well. If you don't think about it, it's going great. Everyone's happy-go-lucky.
Yep.
And then it's very much not happy-go-lucky anymore when you get to that last scene.
The look on his face when he's going up to play the piano, and you can tell he is trying to fight it, and he just looks over at Mael, and they just stare at each other, no words whatsoever. And then you start to see I think they technically call it a sickness or whatever, where you have like the paint kind of bleeding on the skin. We saw it with her sister. If you fight her in the realm itself, we see it on the paintress. We obviously see it on other characters and everything. And it's just like, oh, damn, she kept saying up until that final moment, she was even telling her dad, I will not let it take me over, all this stuff. And then it does. And you're just like, oh my God, like, damn, that is just, it hit me hard. It hit me absolutely hard. So, and it's funny though, going back and like, especially like you said, I mean, even at the end of Act 2, but then going back through a New Game Plus, and how it is, showing you that the paintress was technically the good person in terms of trying to save the creations that her son made, the residents of Lumine and everything, where it was the father trying to delete them because he wanted to try and get his wife out of the picture. And it's just like it's just all these moments you're just like, holy crap, like what's going on? Like, damn. So, and can I just say a cool little detail, like, because literally we have a boss battle going on in the background if you're watching this live right now. But Raynor's like final weapon when you're fighting him, the fact that I love the little touch how it looks like a sword for the most part, but then there's a brush on the end. Because guess what? He's a painter, right? So I love that little detail. I noticed at the moment we started the fight, and obviously it was also part of the paintress's boss fight that we saw, and I was just like, damn, that is That's a cool little detail and everything like that. So I definitely love seeing that. But I gotta also quickly talk about the music. The music is just chef's kiss. It is really cool to listen to. You can go find it on YouTube. I'm sure it's on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. But I love listening to it. It's great music for either, falling asleep on the train going home or just kind of listening was more back. I love listening to it as background music while editing videos and everything. It's just, again, I said this last year with with my personal game of the year RPG, which was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and the music. I said if it doesn't win music at the award show, I riot. And I am saying the exact same thing here for Expedition 33. The music is beyond top level music right here. If this doesn't win, it's rigged. It's recency. I'll throw all the words out: recency bias, rigged, you name it. It is what it is. So I really hope that people get a chance to really listen to the music and everything. Again, they have a playlist up on the official channel of the team that made this game, and there's over, I want to say 100 clips and videos, whether it's in short form, long form. They take a bunch of them and combine them together into a 3-hour video for some of them. It's all there. So I highly recommend you go watch it if you get a chance to. It is, God, it's so great. I know I don't understand what they're saying half the time because, spoiler, it's in French, but I don't care. It sounds cool to listen to. So to anyone who's ever watched, random music videos or Japanese anime openings and all that kind of stuff, and you don't understand 90% of what's happening or what's being said in there, because guess what? History shows that we don't. This is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't matter because it's freaking awesome to listen to, and you need to go listen to it. I think the only thing, and this is my one negative of the game, and it's not necessarily just only Expedition 33 has done this. It's also, I think, tied into simply just gaming in general, especially the last 10 years and just how things are made. But one thing I guess didn't work as well for me. It did in the beginning, but after Act 1, I just personally didn't care about it anymore, was collecting the journals, those diamond holographic journals or whatever from the past expeditions. At the first, I loved learning about the past expeditions and everything. What they did, what they encountered, all that kind of stuff. And I know it even into the end game, it gives you a cool bunch of background information about the story and everything, especially if you go and fight Simon and everything. But I found personally that after Act 1, I just did not care. I just didn't. I was full on focused, and maybe this is part of the design. I was full on focused on the main story going on, again, learning about who Mael actually is, Verso, the other characters and everything like that, Lune, Ciel, all that. I love those. I love all those characters. So, props to them for making me focus solely on the main characters. But I also like learning a little bit about the world and the other expeditions and everything. But after Act 1, I didn't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority here. Lemon, you'll have to let me know. But I just, anytime I collected it, beforehand, I would actually let the whole thing play out and listen to it. But after Act 1, I was just skip. I want to keep playing. That's all it was. Well,
so was it because you just didn't care, or that you just really want to get back to the game?
I think it was a combination of both. Part of it was, yes, I just want to get back to the game. I want to keep doing this, especially when you're in Act 2. You're learning about Verso and everything, who he is, this kind of, this trust, non-trust thing. You're getting into the relationship with the characters if you're going to talk to them one-on-one. But at the same time, I just did not care about the other expeditions, especially when you figure out that, you can give a little bit of backstory, but you kind of already know. Paintress, is sad her son is dead. Other painter comes in to try and get her out. They fight. They kill a bunch of people, and even though they're not really people, they're just paintings and all that kind of stuff. So, again, really super over, easy explanation right there. There's obviously a little bit more to that, but I just, again, I did not care about the past expeditions after that moment in the story. What about you? Did you let them continue to play out, or?
I think I sometimes did, sometimes didn't. And it just comes down to whether or not I'm locked in, wanting to burn through some battles or get to a boss or get to a certain area or something. And so other times I just was I'll let it ride. I'll listen to this. And I think it's just, I understand why they did. They need to, fill in its expositions to fill in the backstory of the games, funny things. There was one expedition where it was just, they thought they have to be pretty much rocking 6 packs, full on biceps, like really muscle.
I think I vaguely remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're gonna just kind of run right into it. And that was one of because it's just fun exposition. But yeah, I mean it's just kind of it's filling out the world, but it does kind of take away from a bit of the plot. Like you're really locked in. You just want to keep playing. You want to see what happens with your main characters.
Yeah,
you're not really all that invested. You really don't care about the backstory of all this stuff. This is more stuff for like those theory people who make those like hour-long videos I love to watch on YouTube about recaps and backstories of games.
Yeah,
it's for them, not for me.
Absolutely, yeah. But again, it kind of shows that I actually did care about the past expeditions. I think it's one of those things of knowing what you know now compared to what you learned later on. Because again, up until the moment you start playing this game and through all the marketing and everything, we all thought these are real people. These are past expeditions. We need, what are they going to teach us to help us fill in the gaps for the story and finally take down the evil painters and everything? Come to find out, they're nothing compared to the actual story of this game and everything. So it's just, it's one of those things. So,
and you touched on it a bit earlier. It's just, a lot of games have things like that. I just played through in Platinum, Doom Dark Age, and they had things like that, like codex pages, and I'm playing Doom to kill demons. Like the codex page is cool. I looked at one of them. So it might just be a gaming trope, but I did enjoy listening to some of them. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. I just sorry. All right, cool. Got it. Skipped it. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me go do the next battle.
But I love, it's funny though, because I wasn't a big fan of those, but I loved going and taking on some of the, especially in Act 3, going and taking on some of the side bosses and everything, because those actually gave me more stories with Verso, and there was one with Lune's parents and everything. If you want to get her level 3 gradient move, you learn about her parents and her expedition and everything, which was really cool. Fighting Claire, Mael's sister, from their world and everything. That was really cool to see. The fact that her mother painted over her to basically force her to make the Nevrons and everything. But it also turns out that Claire is also really powerful herself, and she's able to paint over some of the creations from her mother, but we have to fight her to technically free her. And then especially if you go and fight Simon, you find out how Simon's connected with Claire. And it's just like, like that kind of stuff I loved. I mean, heck, even the simple side little snake boss that's floating up in the sky that you've probably seen since the beginning of Act 1, basically. When you go and fight and take him on, and if you defeat him, Verso just makes this little comment. He's like, I finally took down that effing snake right there. Tired of dealing with him. He ate me once.
Yeah.
So I loved doing stuff like that. But yeah, the little like library, random cliff notes, whatever. Didn't particularly care about those myself. So, but again, that's literally, I mean, aside from, maybe you could nitpick a few, timing things in terms of the parry windows. You could, there's definitely some obviously pop in when it came to the map world and everything when you're flying around on SK. But overall, absolutely loved him. And I have to say, he's not my favorite character, but he's definitely my top 3. Francois. I absolutely love that rock turtle. I don't care what anyone says. He is awesome, especially when he goes, "How dare you!" Rah! And he just makes this roar, and everyone's just kind of standing like looking at him like, okay, I guess we got to fight you. And then he literally has one of the most
strongest ice move.
Yeah, and he has the strongest ice move, which will literally one-shot you early in the game. So this is the most hilarious thing. I give them absolute props. Easily top 3 character, not even joking about that. So
for sure. No, when it did that, I thought it was gonna be a joke, so I didn't parry it, and I regret that decision. Easy mode, it wrecks you.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, oh crap, that just happened. Like I think he targeted what did I have? Lune. Yeah, he took down Lune first, and I was just like, just took out my healer. What the F, man?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's pretty strong.
He was definitely pretty strong. So, and then you eventually go back, and then you give him like a little rock that's supposed to look like him because you need one of the other rocks for SK and everything. And it's just like, I was kind of hoping we would have gotten like a second updated battle, type of thing. That would have been pretty cool. But it is what it is. So I was definitely all for it. So, but I do need to ask before we wrap this all up, though, who were out of all the characters in the game? Real or not real, who are your top 3 characters?
Top 3?
Yeah, top 3. Give me your top 3 game.
Eskia is number 1. I love that guy. Francois is pretty cool. I'd probably go number 2. Probably go Verso or CL.
Versus, yeah.
Tie for third. I like them both as characters. I think they're interesting.
Yeah.
I liked.
Yeah, I'd probably go those.
I mean, I think just like you, for the most part, like all characters, great voice acting, great great stories and everything.
Sure.
I think in terms of my top 3, Francois again was my number 3. I'm not even joking about that. Tied for second, and I know it's kind of a cop out, but tied for second is either going to be Lune or Mael. I would personally say for that. I know a lot of people probably don't pay too much attention to Lune, especially later on, as she's kind of just acting like your typical leader. She's strong head focused on just one thing, basically. And a lot of that comes from when you do the side talks, when you're at camp and everything, and you go and talk with the characters. There's a lot of relationship building there, which I get why it's there in that particular moment, but I do feel like a little bit of it is probably missed by a lot of people who don't do the relationship stuff, or even know that if you do end up talking to the characters on the side, and this is not going up to the fire, by the way, and saying talk with other characters and then sleep. Like, you have to actually go up to the character and talk to them, and then after a few lines it says, do you wish to talk to them more? And if you say yes, there is a ton of relationship building there for all the characters, and I feel like a lot of people are probably missing out on that. So that's why I really like some of the stuff that we learn about Lune later on, especially when we get to see what happened to her family, or her parents, let's just say, with their expedition. But then my favorite characters, I would have to say, is going to be CL. And I love, it's funny, I love CL's relationship with Verso, and I love Verso as a character, but I love the relationship between those two characters, especially when you get up into their higher ranks of their relationship.
I was going to say, that was like when you get to, I think it was like 2 or 3, it's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That was an unexpected gut punch. I think it was before the end of Act 2. It's unlocked, and I did that. I'm like, oh, Jesus, that's dark.
Yeah. And then you find out later on what how SK kind of, went into it and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah. And then, but then even if you get up to the level 6, it's either 6 or 7 is the max relationship level you can get with everybody. But it then starts to make sense when at the end of the final boss battle, where Verso sees, technically his mother, through the painting or whatever. And CL's the one who goes up and comforts him. And, it's not like they're trying to push them together, do all this, they're going to become a couple or anything like that. Because I know some people always like to do shipping stuff or whatever. But But again, it's something you learn when you delve into the relationship through the campfires and you talk and everything, where we know in the end nothing is going to happen, but they still deeply care about each other. And I just love the communication they have and the stuff that we learn about about them and everything. And she's there with him till the end, regardless of what ending you pick. Obviously, it's a little dark if you pick Mael at the very end, but up until that moment, like, she's there for Verso to comfort him, knowing who he is, what he is, and everything. And I absolutely love that. So, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to miss out on that. So if you're watching this, I highly recommend booting up an old save file. If you're on New Game Plus, take time to do the campfire relationship stuff. And again, it's not going up to the campfire and simply saying, check up on others. It's going up to the characters themselves and actually talking to them and then letting the cutscenes play out. You learn a lot about all the characters, which is really cool. Highly, highly recommend it. So, and
don't go just to your party members also, like SK.
Talk to everyone. SK, even the, again, all your party members and everything, you just go talk to them all. It's 100% worth it. And some of them even then open up new quests for you to go do. And then after that, you can go back to camp and you can talk to them even more. And again, you're unlocking those gradient moves, which are super powerful and really helpful for endgame fights. You're learning just, again, more about the characters and everything. And it's absolutely 100% worth it. So 100% recommend doing it. So, yeah. So if you can't tell, though.
Show.
Huh?
It's a faux show. You got to. It's because the game doesn't tell you to do this stuff, and it's a bit of a bummer because a lot of the character building is there, not in the main story, which is a bummer. It really does. Like Ciel and Lune, really, if you don't do those, are not going to get fleshed out. Full stop. They just need people.
And I've seen it online where a lot of people are like, yeah, you know, they're cool, they look cool, I love the moves and everything, but yeah, the characters are kind of just bland or whatever. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, go do the relationship stuff. Like, it's all right there. But again, you're right. They don't tell you, you know, about just like even a quick mention. To my knowledge, they don't mention doing that stuff, which is a little sad, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're there, definitely 100% go do it because it's absolutely worth it. So, but yeah, as you guys can tell already, though, we absolutely love the game. For me personally, definitely my current game of the year. The only thing that could potentially take that away, even though it's a completely different genre, a completely different game, and it's just more simply because I've loved this series for a long time, is if the Metroid Prime 4 game comes out this year, which I'm still 50-50 on. I know it's been shown a lot, especially with Switch 2 and everything. But if they nail a Metroid Prime 4, then that could probably be a good fighting contender right there for Expedition. But regardless, like if you have not played this game, go play it. It is worth the $50. Just go buy it, go support the team and everything. Absolutely 100% worth it. It's funny. I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, oh, this is, getting people to go out and buy other smaller games and everything. And I'm just like, okay, here's one game that we've talked about on the channel before, which unfortunately a lot of people will not pick up just based on who published it. But the Prince of Persia game from last year, just go play that game. It is that good. You can find it on sale for like $15. It might even be on PlayStation Plus. I don't know about Game Pass. Just go play it. It is 100% worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So, especially if you're somebody who doesn't want to go pay, the $80 that we're getting for some games now, like this is your chance. Go support those smaller games and everything. 100% worth it. So, but yeah, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. If you happen to be watching this later on as a video format, what are your thoughts on Expedition 33? Who's your favorite characters? What were your favorite story points? Did you enjoy the combat? Are you a dodger or are you a parrier? These are the important questions we need to be asking ourselves. Me personally, I parried as much as I personally could, and less dodging absolutely made more sense. Looking at you, Paintress. Lemon, I know you're a dodger, so...
Nope, parry.
Oh, you're a parrier. Okay, I always thought you were a dodger, but okay. But yeah, regardless though, it's very fun. And I will say, obviously, to the people, just to kind of wrap up the video here, is this a turn-based RPG? Obviously, yes, duh. But it is not a more traditional turn-based RPG. It is its own unique thing, taking elements from things like Mario RPG, Mario and Luigi Brothers, the other RPG games like that, mixing it with obviously turn-based combat and everything. But if you're expecting this to be press attack, wait for the other opponent to attack you, and just do it that way, 9 times out of 10, I guess technically you could play the game that way. That'd be an interesting run, but you'd really have to delve deep into the Picto system and all of that stuff. But a lot of the moves though from that are expecting you to do some form of parrying or dodging and everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure 30 or 40% of the Pictos are literally like, for every perfect dodge, get +1 AP. For every parry, get 5% health and all that kind of stuff. So definitely interesting. But regardless, let us know your thoughts down below though. And as always, I've been Talon with Direct Gaming, joined again here by Lemon, and you guys enjoyed, and again, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments.